What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Highland Brewery for another Highland putter review. Play in the front, shorts. This disc is very AVR3-esque, but it's from a very different style of company. This is from Prodiscus. Prodiscus Jokeri. It's the Drew Gibson signature or Tour Series disc, I guess. It is an overstable 3-speed putt and approach disc. It feels like it's going to be pretty overstable. It has a lot of give and play to it, but it's already kind of puddle top just out of the box off the shelf. So it feels like it's going to be kind of stable. But this stamp with the black and then the blue, it's so cool. The purple disc had the same, except it was purple instead of blue. So they're doing a really good job with their stamping designs. It's pretty cool, pretty amazing. But what we're about to do here is toss them off on hole one. Number one, 216 feet. It's right down there, just at the bottom of the hill. I think I might try this on a forehand. Okay, hung onto my finger, but it was very straight and was starting to fade. It's not as beefy as I thought it was gonna be, so it's a little bit more like a straighter zone. But that definitely just hooked on my finger. It's much more of an approach putter. It's not really a putting putter. We're gonna putt with it for today's purposes, but I think it's gonna score a little worse than a lot of other putting putters would, just because it's probably not gonna be as consistent putting. Or I do that. Hole number 2 to the long pin. It's 285. So I don't know if I can push this that far. I know it's a 3-speed, but it is a little bit more overstable and very, very flat on top. So I'm gonna have to try to flex it in there. So trust it on the anhyzer, throw it like I'm throwing one of my Sky God 4s, and we'll see how fast this table's out of that. Okay, I thought it was gonna be a little bit, it's actually a lot straighter than I thought it was gonna be. Hole 3, 199 feet. I'm gonna throw the forehand down this right side. Weird ground reaction, but that seemed to work out all right. I heard the metal, hit the metal, and still missed the metal. Why do I feel like Drew Gibson all of a sudden? Not that he's a bad putter, that just seems like a Drew Gibson kind of miss. So it is an overstable putt and approach disc, but it's not necessarily a beefy overstable putt and approach disc, so it's not quite Zone OS or A2. It's really not even as stable as a Zone, but it feels like it's got a lot of torque resistance for if you want to hit it on a forehand, but it also is holding up to, it's flying very smoothly on a backhand as well. So we're gonna try to go backhand here, try to push it straight and flat, really try to get almost a baby anhyzer of a release, and see if I can push that back fence wall. Yeah, I hung it out. I didn't hang it out far enough to the right, but that's fine. It's gonna be an uphill, like 40-footer look. It's not bad on this hole. It's flying like in between a stabilizer and my overstable Sky God 4s. So it's not super beefy, but it is overstable. Yeah, okay. It's very similar flight path to my yellow Sky God 4, maybe a touch more stable, but it feels more like a Zone or an AVR X3. Hole number 5, about 230 feet, bends around off to the right. I am going to try the forehand on this though. I mean, it's a really soft plastic, so it doesn't really skip much. And it's very mulchy, so it also doesn't skip much. So I guess that explains all of that. Straight, but not hitting it. Hole 6, they move back to the long, so it's 260 feet from this path. So it's whatever goes straightest, because it's very, very straight. I think for me, it's probably going to be a really soft backhand flex right now, because I don't trust it on a forehand completely yet. So I don't know if I can put it on some anhyzer to turning it. You know what? Maybe we try. Maybe we put on a little bit of anhyzer and see if it comes back. Different. I keep grip locking it when I'm on a forehand, which is really annoying. Time for the scramble shot here. Okay, that worked out a little bit better. It likes anhyzer jump putts though. Hole number 7, 264 feet. This one is going to be the soft backhand flex. Basically, about the same shot as hole number 4. Might have gone all hyzer instead. I always forget that 3 speeds just go further. And that was terrible. I'm gonna go try to make that putt. That's bad. Okay, well that's not a great score on that hole. But again, I kind of said this at the beginning. It's not a putting putter. It's not designed to be putt with. It's designed to use for putter style drives and approaches. It does really good at that. I'm just not good at putting with an approach disc. So it's a great disc. I'm just bad at doing this specific task with this specific disc. Hole number 8, basically 200 feet. I think I am gonna try flex forehand one more time. No, we're gonna give it one more backhand because 9, I'm gonna throw a forehand at it. So soft little flex backhand. Hopefully this one will be able to pan out of it. I have to miss on that line, and I hit it. Oh well. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, gonna finish over par with this disc. It's kind of, I expected that to happen because of the putting performance with specific types of discs, but it's flying. Honestly, it's very similar to my what is that disc called? Proximity Mine. It's very similar to my Proximity Mine in that it's overstable but not super beefy. And if you put it on an anhyzer line, it wants to hold it more than it wants to flex out of it. It'll still flex if given enough time, but it kind of prefers those one angle shots. So let's try to throw another one angle shot here on hole number 9. Hole number 9 is 203 feet. It does bend around to the right. So we're gonna try to go one angle hyzer. If it flips up a little bit, that's great. If it flips up straight, it could be better, but we wanna keep it on hyzer so that it is fading off to the right. But I think I'm gonna have to switch from more of a stacked grip to more of my power grip because I think I'm having trouble getting enough push on the disc to get it to come out of my hand. So I'm gonna need this little stacked grip here, or what I call a power grip. This is what I call a stacked grip. I know some people call it different things. Yeah, This is a great putter for throwing purposes. I would not recommend anybody to putt with this putter, especially not in this plastic. It feels really good and it's super gummy, but it's going to give you a lot of grip and traction when you're throwing, but it's a little flimsy and a little polished to be a good grip the chains putting putter. So it's a great disc. It just, you know, it has a chance. I'm actually going to keep this one around, and it has a chance of kicking out both the stabilizer and the proximity mine out, because this actually does fly really well. So what I'm going to do here, forehand hyzer, just pump it. I'm going to try to hug this right side so that if I do grip lock, it's going to pull it off of those trees, and it should be perfect. So much hyzer. How about that for a gap hit? Prodiscus Jokeri, great disc, flies amazing, doesn't putt super well, but it's not designed to do that, like I've already said. It's a great thrower, great approach disc, and I'm gonna have to reevaluate my bag at the end of the season, because there's a couple molds that need to come out, there's a couple molds that need to be replaced, and I mean, we'll talk about all that later. But for now, if you enjoy content like this, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see something else, make sure to comment that down below. And please make sure to subscribe. Helps you guys out, and it definitely helps me. And until next time, see you out on the course.